Hello and welcome to a Besieged update video. So there's been an update to the game, and as I said, I would cover the bits as they were updated. Now I'm going to do this without really looking at the changelog, so it's just going to be covering the items as a normal person would. So I'm not going to cover any bug updates or anything unless they affect the actual gameplay. So first things first is one of my new, probably my favourite blocks so far. It's the ball joint. As you can see, I've created a little thing just to demonstrate it here. There's a little gimbal joint here. It's shaking itself to pieces because this weighs the maximum weight. But as you can see, it gimbals here and it goes in all directions. Let's see if I can get it. There you go. It goes in all directions. It spins. It will swing around itself. And it does that. And it's pretty cool. That can be found in the block one, and it's here, the ball joint. And it just swings around like that. And I have seen them so far swing up and smash bits, but they don't seem to do that too often. As you can see there, that just goes through itself. But that's pretty jumping it with those pistons. Anyway, so on to the next block. So the next block up is the swivel joint. This is just a retexture of the old spinning joint. So as you would expect, it just does this. This is something that was already in the game. It's just a retexture of it. There's nothing really new there. But I do think that looks a lot better than it looking similar to this thing. So it looks a hell of a lot better. But other than that, as far as I can tell, it still functions the same. You can still attach stuff in the same point. And it doesn't have any sort of edit function. So it's exactly the same as the old block used to be. Okay, so the next block that can be seen here is the small torch. This is a flaming torch that can set fire to stuff. It's also got an additional feature. Other than setting fire to stuff, as well as that, cannons have been set up in a new way. They can now be ignited by fire as well as by pressing C. These seem to just be a permanent source of flame, which is much more usable than the flaming bull, simply because they're a lot more controllable. You see, you can mount them to stuff and do this. Use them to ignite cannons. Cannons still work by pressing C. That hasn't been changed. There just appears to be more ways now to ignite them. Oh no, it's a new weapon block that it does fire. Called the small torch, which would seem to point out that there's going to be a larger torch at some point. However, that's just speculation. And now we move on to what I think is my favourite part of this update. Either this or the flaming torch, is these big wheels. As you can see, they are much larger than the normal sized wheels, and they operate in exactly the same way. You can adjust their speed, their controls. They just appear to be much larger wheels, which is quite good. They are much larger, they're spiked, they're more weaponized kind of wheels. And they work exactly the same. You can drive around with them, and they crush stuff. What's better than that? Not much to say on them. They are just larger wheels, and I've found them to be exactly the same as normal wheels, but larger. A lot better for climbing stuff. But anyway, that's all that I've managed to find for these updates. As you can see here, I can't see any more newer blocks through my about hour of playing it. I wasn't playing it too long before I made this. But yeah, that's all I can find for this. Thank you for watching. More of these videos to come as the updates continue. Thank you very much. Goodbye.